brothers. I don't care what you think about yourself. You're my brother, man. Even the cheerleaders, the chess club geeks, the jocks, the goths, you guys are all my brothers. I've heard it said that if you spend 7 mana on something, that it should win you the game. I think that's a little silly, honestly. My philosophy on that is that you should have a great engine set up by that point, and you should be doing interesting things. So let's take a look at some Haymakers, some instants and some sorceries that have huge impacts on the board, cost more than 6 mana, and cost less than $2. This is Budget Bro time. We're looking for some under-the-radar blasters, cards you may not have seen. And if you enjoy this nonsense, why not subscribe to the channel, man? We have early videos up on the Patreon, we got memberships below, and just lots of love for the brewers out there. Thanks to all you dudes for helping the channel grow and thrive. Now before we kick off here, I just want to give you an honorable mention. Coming in at $3, Rise of the Dark Realm. So this is 7 black for a sorcery. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. I just want to slap this out there for the budget conscious bros out there. This has been pricier in the past, I've never seen it cheaper, and it's a great haymaker. Alright, coming in at 50 cents here, we have Necromantic Selection. 4 black for a sorcery. Destroy all creatures, then return a creature card put into the graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. It's a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Exile Necromantic Selection. I got this in the 2024 Commander Precon. I thought it was just a cool card, 7 mana board wipe, but you get that reanimation effect. Lovely art, and a huge impact on the board. Next up, we have the Flood of Tears. 4 blue for a sorcery. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If you return 4 or more non-token permanents you control this way, you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Bro, is this a Taylor Swift album cover? I'm getting sad all of a sudden. Looks like she's parting the Red Seas out there. That's biblical. And it's another mass bounce spell. Nice reset, gets around hexproof, indestructible, and you get to cheat something out. Fantastic. Apex of Power. So this is 7 red for a sorcery. Total of 10 mana. Exile the top 7 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among them. If the spell was cast from your hand, add 10 mana of any one color. People see that 10 mana and they're like, nah dude, too much mana. But get to the second part, man. Read the whole card. If you are reducing costs or casting for free from your hand, this is just a really long turn where you're casting lots of sweet cards, man. This is a storm turn, brother. You're at the apex. Look at this guy, man. He's out there in a fever dream. The Fevered Suspicion. 6 black and a red for a sorcery. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among those non-land cards without paying their mana costs. Has Rebound. Whoa, buddy, look at this beast. You got a Beholder, and he's coming to behold your taint, man. He's coming to behold your cards. Looks a little like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. A little bit, man. I don't know if you're going to get a decent value from this, but you get to see 6 cards if it rebounds. Blatant Thievery. 4 blue for a sorcery. For each opponent, gain control of target permanent that player controls. You're getting 3 of the best things on the board. Maybe, but every time I've cast this, I've gotten better than 7 mana in value. Now this is also a zero-sum game, so each opponent loses their best thing. They're losing value. Sometimes you snag a land too if you're an absolute demon. Praetor's Council. So this is 5 green for a sorcery. Return all cards from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Praetor's Council. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Now in the art here, Vorinclex is telling Card about his miniature collection, all that Warhammer, the plasma pistols he sneaks on his officers because mathematically that's the best ratio of armor penetration to points you can squeeze in the Imperial Guard army. Karn just wants to leave, but his girlfriend is doing rails in the bathroom, dude. You get a full grip here, and in a self-mill Golgari deck, this is bonkers. Saheeli's Artistry. 4 blue for a sorcery. Choose one or both. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact, or create a token that's a copy of target creature except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. You get to choose both, man. I unironically use this card. I get great value from it, especially in my artifact and my artifact creature decks. Look at this beautiful card, The Worst Fears. So this is 7 and a black for a sorcery. You control target player during that player's next turn. Exile Worst Fears. So this is a very mean card. Only pops one dude, but I use this to knock down the arch enemy. You know, and they think it's not fair, but guess what? It is, dude. That player's ramping out of control with 10 5/5 elementals. They got 8 lands out there, and it's only turn 4. Sometimes it really does nothing, though, you know, but that's the worst fear, dude. Then you have this sweet card, Majestic Genesis. 6 green for a sorcery. Reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. You may put any number of permanent cards from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. This goes in very specific decks, and that's Galta Primal Hunger deck. Dude, I'm telling you, I know dinosaurs. I grew up with them, man. Not the mama. Brother, look at this beautiful card. Too greedily, too deep. 5 black and a red for a sorcery. Put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. That creature deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. Such a cool card, man. It's usually in a deck where you're packing your graveyard, though it can hit other graveyards too, just FYI. Just get that 7/7 out and wipe the board. It's the Lord of the Rings coming back from the dead, brother. Lord of the Dance maybe coming out of the depths. Spell Twine, 5 and a blue for a sorcery. Exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, and exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. Copy those cards. Cast the copies available without paying their mana cost. Exile Spell Twine. Classic commander card from 2016 and 2017 decks. Just a neat recursion that gets those big Rishkar's expertises along with some nonsense from your graveyard. You are casting those spells, so cast triggers do go off like your Archmage Emeritus. Look at this bad boy, Alpha Brawl. So this is 6 red for a sorcery. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to each other creature that player controls. Then each of those creatures deal damage equal to its power to that creature. Very weird card out of Dark Ascension. Basically, you pay 8 mana to kill all your opponent's stuff. I don't know where I would put this honestly, but it's a cool card with the alpha male out there. You know what? Those weird alpha beta analogies really fall flat when you try to compare them to human societies. Right? Humans are so unique because it takes so many different kinds of people to make things work. Say you're a nurse, right? It doesn't matter how strong you are. You know, if you're the strongest dude on the floor, who cares? If you don't know pharmacokinetics, you don't know how to start an IV. Doesn't mean you can't be both, though. You know, honestly, in this day and age, you can be strong and smart. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can be strong and smart, but then you're taking orders from a 70-year-old lady who's 4'10" and 108 pounds. You know, that's just life, dude. Society isn't all about alphas and betas. We're human beings. We're not wolves. All right. Now, this isn't really a card that fits the description of Haymaker that I set out in the beginning of this video. Technically, the mana value is 3. But, you know, this is a big mana card when you're casting it for 11 or something, and it's 32 cents, Genesis Wave. X, green, sorcery. Reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of permanent cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into your graveyard. I love that this is 32 cents, man. Great card. Now, in a similar vein, we have Saheeli's Directive. People really sleep on this card. X red for a sorcery has Improvise. Each artifact you tap after you're done activating mana abilities pays for 1. I've cast this for like 25-30 mana sometimes. Reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put any number of artifact cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into your graveyard. This is artifact specific, but you have artifact lands, I've hit off of this, artifact creatures in my Saheeli the Gifted deck. It's just a huge haymaker in the right deck, man. I like the art where you're watching those robots from the Strider game, the Genesis game, dude, fruiting around the joint out there, going to do some mayhem. Anyways, man, I gotta go check on my meme coins today. I hope you guys get lots of snuggles, get cozy. It's snowing out there, man. I'm all alone in my fortress of solitude here. I gotta shovel it all out, staring at the eternal white out there. A garish nightmare of snow, brother. I know why the Norwegians talk about death metal and they think the gods live in the snow. You know, that's what it looks like out there, dude. It looks like some dark god is out there just making misery. Anyways, dude, on a positive note, Nikki G, Better Commander, signing off.